Salute, salute, salute. Wow. Blessings. What's happening, man? Nocturnal Thoughts, real quick video. And I'm going to get out y'all way. So I just wrapped up watching the All Access 2. JERMELL CHARLO versus Saul Canelo Alvarez, right? And just some little highlighted moments, man, I want to talk about real quick. Family first. To show these two dudes spend quality time with their family, you know, that's great. That's you know, one of those things that I love to see highlighted, especially in the All Access, because you get to see another side of these guys, and it makes them, you know, more than just fighters, that they're humanized, and you see that they're able to balance the demands of being a star, being a primal, you know, boxing is a very primal sport. So when, you know, we've seen all kind of cautionary tales in the history of boxing where it's hard for boxers to switch it off and then have good lives outside of boxing. So I love to see Saul Canelo Alvarez with his daughter and his wife, and her to talk about, you know, the difference between Saul and Canelo and how she loves both of those personalities. And to see JERMELL CHARLO with his family and his kids growing up. I remember watching them on their little YouTube channel when they was little. And now they growing up and they almost taller than JERMELL CHARLO. And to see him taking his son fishing, it looked like for the first time, they in a big Fast and the Furious 9 truck with a little tackle box to go fishing. But to see them, you know, in the backyard, in a swimming pool, his little son, 2 years old, with the floaters on, them doing yoga with the whole family, stretching out, and the downward dog and all of that. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? I love to see that family dynamic of a fighter as a man holding down the family. That's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? The training is very, very, very edited, but you can see these dudes is training their ass off. Period, point blank, especially JERMELL CHARLO. You can see he's trying to push himself to another level in his training camp. With more power comes more responsibility. This man is eating like the Flintstones T-bone steak, the mashed potatoes, the gravy. You know what I'm saying? The plate had definitely all the food groups on his plate. And you can see that he ain't got to worry about cutting down no weight whatsoever, going up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo at 168. One thing, man, Errol Spence, it was 2 things that made me think about Errol Spence and JERMELL CHARLO. One was when he took his son fishing. When he took his son fishing, I said, that's kind of ironic. And the son didn't even want to touch the worm. You know, that was funny. Toughen your son up a little bit. You know, he got to be able to handle worms. You dig? And when he was jogging, he was running. I'm calling out all directors. Any director, if you have me breathing hard like Errol Spence, we're going to have a problem. I'm paraphrasing. I thought that was kind of ironic and funny too. To see Canelo look at his, I think he was watching the All Access 1, but they was watching him when he was young Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Big, you know what I'm saying? Flaming red hair Canelo. And to see him having fun in his camps and see him and his brothers, and they was young and they training. I think that stuff is vital too. One thing I know, when you get older and your career start getting, you know, in the twilight stages, or, you know, you kind of getting long in the tooth or whatever, when you go back and you look at yourself, like when I look at myself here when I was in my prime, when I look at myself in my 20s and 30s, if you got any videos of yourself training when you was in your prime, you listening to music that you listen to, all that stuff revitalizes you. It rejuvenates you. It helps you remember, you know what I'm saying, who you are, what you've been through, and what it took to accomplish everything you accomplished. And it just makes you, it gives you the juice back. No clenbuterol, pun intended. I'm just dead ass serious. For anybody that's into being healthy, it's good to journalize it. And if you can, put it on video. When you go back and see yourself when you was 20 years old, when your hair was thicker, when you see that your face was different, when you see you had less wrinkles, you see how you pushed and how you was motivated and how you had fun. It makes you remember, and you can still recreate those moments. You might be a little different because your body changes. Father Time is undefeated, but you can still turn back the hands of time just during training for that hour out of the day, 2 hours out of the day. You can almost bring back that ability to train like you trained in your prime, if not better, because now you become wiser. So watching the All Access, what I saw was great training. Both guys look powerful. You've seen Canelo working on slipping shots and throwing combinations. It's because it's crazy to me to watch these trainers, these boxers train and do just some old school stuff. You cannot reinvent the wheel. Some old school stuff you never see will cannot be eliminated. Weight ball training. You see a lot of weight ball training. That goes back to the beginning. So with all the advanced technology and all the new stuff that they done came along with, you still see old school training with just a weight ball. Throw me the weight ball, I throw the weight ball back, and I throw some combinations. I catch the weight ball, I throw the weight ball back. Throw me the weight ball, I pick up the weight ball off the ground, deadlift, and I pick it up, power slam, pick it back up, pass it to you. All that, get the weight ball while I'm working with this cable, and I'm working on my core and my torso. You take the weight ball, you slam it into my core and help me strengthen up my punch resistance. Old school stuff. Working with noodles, slide past the noodle, I dip, I throw a combination, I go up underneath, I come up with a hook. You saw all that. And you saw some good training with Guzman and JERMELL CHARLO, and some great training with Derrick James and JERMELL CHARLO. This is going to be an action-packed fight. Probably going to be the fight of the year. And to be honest with you, whoever comes out on top is going to put themselves right as a candidate again for pound, face of boxing. People sleeping on it, people overlooking it, people want to talk about fantasy fights. But in reality, there's no way in reality that you're going to tell me that Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis is supposed to be bigger than a fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and JERMELL CHARLO. It's Nocturnal Thoughts, man. I'm out. Salute. Bow, bow, bow. Blessings.